Brian O'Connor's Skyline GT-R is one of the most iconic vehicles of the Fast and the Furious movie saga. We are going to review the vehicle used for the Too Fast, Too Furious movie, a 1999 Nissan Skyline GT-R R34, as well as several secrets from the production, filming, and the life of this vehicle. Let's start by clarifying that, as in many action movies, the Skyline used was not unique. In total, 6 GT-Rs were used. However, we can distinguish a special one among them. The iconic Skyline that we all remember originally belonged to Craig Lieberman, who was the technical advisor for the franchise. Unlike what many people think, this vehicle didn't belong to Paul Walker. It's true that Paul drove it for about 2 months, and that he even claimed in an interview that it was his car, but he never actually bought it. It was just a kind of extended test drive. Lieberman bought the GT-R in 2001 for $78,000. Before Universal even decided to make a sequel for the original Fast and the Furious movie. This vehicle was the first R34 imported and federalized in the country. Lieberman, who is always a car enthusiast, made several modifications to the vehicle. First, he painted it a custom candy blue. In addition to this aesthetic change, Lieberman also focused on modifying and adding some parts to the engine, adding a sound system, and adding a 15-inch brake disc. To record the movie full of stunts and complicated scenes, 4 more vehicles were imported from Japan, which logically ended up being replicas of Lieberman's modified Skyline. Originally, the technical team considered making replicas using Skyline's GTTs instead of GT-Rs, but they ended up deciding that they wouldn't save much that way, since they would have to replace the GTT's fenders, skirting boards, bumpers, and even make a replica of the MFD system on the dashboard. Each of these vehicles ended up costing $48,000, adding another $13,000 for the shipping cost. In other words, just to buy these 4 vehicles, almost $250,000 were invested. On the other hand, the producers were able to save $100,000 by not needing the vehicles to be federalized, since they would only be used for filming the movie and not on public roads. They also saved a lot of money thanks to brands like Toyo Tires or Sparco, who gave several parts for free. In addition, other brands that could not afford to give away products, such as HRE, provided parts at cost value. The Lieberman Skyline and a replica vehicle were available for the main Paul Walker scenes. Another 2 of the imported vehicles were used for the stunts, and the last one ended up at the disposal of the team in order to develop the scenes with CGI. The 6th vehicle was the vehicle used for the bridge jump scene, in the iconic race organized by Tej Parker, and in which Brian O'Connor faces Suki, Slapjack with his Supra, and Orange Julius with his RX-7. For this scene, another GT-R was imported from England, which was logically fitted with a safety cage to protect the driver from such a dangerous stunt. And although in real life this stunt was not performed at 250 km per hour, nor with the real angle of the bridge, it is still a stunt that could only be performed by someone with a lot of experience. To film the scene, a long ramp was used, with less inclination than the one we see on the bridge, and the speed of the vehicle was over 50 miles per hour. In the movie, we see how Brian continues with the race after this huge jump, but in reality, the vehicle was able to travel only about 30 meters with the inertia it already had before coming to a complete stop. It was marked as a total destruction and suffered several damages, mainly to the wheels, the suspension system, and the crankcase, which was broken. However, the team was able to rebuild it in a few days, and after that, it could continue to be used. The R34 of the movie had a RB26DETT as an engine, a 2.6-liter engine with 6 inline cylinders. They came standard with twin turbos and officially produced 280 horsepower when they left Japan. Lieberman Skyline had been fitted with 2 HKS turbos, a titanium HKS exhaust, an HKS downpipe, several other parts of the same brand, several gauges inside, and so on. It also had a nitrous oxide system which was capable of adding an extra 150 horsepower to the vehicle. It retained the original 6-speed manual gearbox and was equipped with 14-inch disc brakes at the rear and 15-inch disc brakes at the front. In terms of aesthetics, the most notable feature was the addition of a fiberglass body kit, as well as a huge carbon fiber spoiler. In the interior, the upholstery was redone. Several pieces were made to hold all the gauges. Seats, harnesses, and Sparco steering wheel were used. It also had a huge audio and video system, as it was very common at the time. As for the performance of the vehicle, it produced about 450 horsepower without the use of the NOS system. It was able to do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.2 seconds, 0 to 100 miles per hour in 9 seconds, and the quarter mile in 12 seconds. Its top speed was 265 kilometers per hour, or 165 miles per hour. Let's see what happened to them once the filming was over. Lieberman said that he recovered his GT-R and returned it to the way it was before the movie, since he never liked the styling it had. He disliked the idea of putting muscle car graphics on a Japanese car, and he believed that many viewers of the film would feel the same. Once it was back to its blue color and the neon lights were removed, Lieberman thought about improving the engine even more, changing the seats, and perhaps other modifications. However, his plan came to an end when he received a ridiculous offer for the car, and while he wouldn't say how much he was paid for it, he did say it was a very generous sum. The car was then sent to Motor Mavericks, who once again blacked it out, removed the audio system, removed some engine parts, and replaced the wheels. The new owner arrived in 2012. This one still remains private, although Lieberman knows him, and they have even chatted on several occasions. This new owner says he intends to return the car to its running-in condition. Today, this car is estimated to have a price tag of between $500,000 and over $1 million. For the other vehicles, not much information is available. It is known that the vehicle used for the jump was sold to a private owner, and it's estimated that about $40,000 were paid for it. Another of the vehicles is believed to have gone to Europe, and it's known that another of the R34 stunt cars used in the film is currently in Hollywood at Universal Studios. And since 2015, it's been exhibited along with other vehicles. To close with this video, I want to share some statements from Lieberman about the production of the film. He recalls that one of the best parts of filming the experience was sharing time with Paul, who was just getting into the GT-R world and had recently bought one. He says he was an avid car enthusiast, and when they saw each other on the set, they would talk about things he could do to his own GT-R. Finally, I would like to take a moment to remember one of the most beloved car enthusiasts of the world, a fabulous actor that will always be missed.